Okay, this morning I was going to talk to you about kind of an oddball thing that you really don't think about this time of the year, but it's only for one reason, and I'll get into that. First of all, let me get all the chickens, the ducks, and the rabbits all set up, and we'll get into that topic. Morning, chickens! Good morning! Good morning, chickens! Good morning! How was your ladies' night? Pretty good? Not too bad? Huh? How'd y'all do in the egg laying department? Y'all do your job? Alright. Well, y'all get busy. Y'all talking some smack this morning, chickens? Y'all talking some junk? Sure sounds like it to me. Good morning. Good morning. Gotta steal your eggs there, chickens. Thanks for your contribution. Alright. You know ducks in the water. Gotta have it. Good morning, ducks. Morning. So it's supposed to be raining for like the next 3 or 4 days. So I'm gonna let the rabbits out this morning. Also let them have run of the yard. They're gonna be all penned up along with the chickens. Now the ducks, for some reason, they really don't care about rain. That doesn't bother them. They'll go out in the middle of the rain like it's middle of summer with a spring fling going on. They don't care. But let me get these rabbits set up real quick, and we'll talk about that topic I was going to get into, would you? Okay. That topic I was going to talk about. Trying to see, yeah, there's still some here. Good. All right. You see what we got? And this ground is soft, but like these underground tunnels, they're even going up through here, all up into here. All of those, you know, I don't know if it shows up on video that well, but they're all in here, all through here. Well, you might think you got moles. Well, the ground's even got big, oh, here's some big ones right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the ground's soft. But you might think you got moles. Well, the truth is, it could be moles, voles with a V, or even gophers. Now, gophers we don't have to worry about too much around here. Not in this region anyway. I'm pretty sure some of you do, but we don't. But our primary problem are voles with a V. The bad thing about the voles are they tear your yard up. And the voles actually end up eating the bottom of your plants out your garden. They'll kill them. That's the bad thing. The good thing voles actually does is they actually aerate your yard, so it can be bad for a year, but then that following year, that could actually be beneficial because not only do they aerate it, but they provide nutrients to it. Which, mind you, most people hate voles, period. But I don't like them because of the fact they get in my garden. And when they get in my garden, they tear my garden up because they kill my plants. They'll get in there, eat the roots out of it, and kill it. Moles, not so much. If I had a problem with moles, the only thing moles are really getting there and eat is stuff like insects, earthworms, those kind of things, but they don't too much eat on your plants. It's voles that do that. So my problem is I got to figure out how to get rid of the voles, and now when it be in wintertime, you don't too much think about voles because you don't see the building tunnels anymore because it's cooler, and you think, well, the cool weather's killed them off. Nah, didn't kill them off. They just went deeper underground to get towards a warmer soil. So the voles are still here. They're just deeper underground, and you're not seeing the signs of them right now. So let's discuss how to get rid of these boogers. Okay, one of the things that I could consider doing is just like anybody else in any other yard is getting some poisons specifically for voles and putting the poison out for the voles. But I got some major issues with that. I got problems with it that maybe other people don't. That those of you who do have animals like chickens, ducks, and rabbits, not to mention a dog, they pose a problem for me putting that poison out. Okay, so what do I do if I put poison out and those ducks get a hold of it out in the yard? Because they will. They're nosy as they can be. They get into everybody's business, including the chicken's business. But I've got those ducks to worry about. And believe it or not, one of the major things I've got to consider too is also that my little chickens here, what they have a tendency to do is things like rats or even voles or whatever. God, what do y'all want to do this morning? Good Lord. What the chickens will do is, believe it or not, they'll eat those voles. If those voles get in here in their chicken run, these chickens will kill them and they'll eat them. Well, if I poison them voles and they eat them voles, it's going to poison my chickens. So for me, poisoning is not a thing, not to mention with a dog. Because the dog loves digging those holes up to try to get a hold of those voles. So poison's not a thing I can use. Many of you may be able to do that, just not me. Okay, some people will set mouse traps for the voles, and they do work. They're effective. But there again, what about them? The ducks are going to get into my mouse traps, may end up snapping their bill or getting their foot caught. And that could do a lot of damage to those ducks. Not to mention my dog. My dog is one nosy dog, and that dog will get into all kind of stuff. She's a prevention method herself because she likes digging those voles up, killing them, which I love when she does it. But the mouse traps, I can't use that either. So I've got to come up with another alternative. So you really can't set traps out with long-nosed Penelope here, can you? She gets that long nosy nose into one of them traps, that's really going to do some damage. Which, by the way, I did want to bring up, if you don't think voles are an issue, you think, well, you know what, give them a year, the winter will kill them. It doesn't. The major problem with voles are, voles will only live for about 2 years max. But their issue is they reproduce every 21 days. Generally, they have about 3 to 13 per litter, and they become sexually mature and able to reproduce after a month. So a very small bunch of moles can turn into a major problem in a very short period of time. So don't underestimate voles. They can be a major issue. Okay, so my solution involves this. For me, it's just something I was going to burn anyway. And now some of you can use hardware cloth, believe it or not. Hardware cloth will work. But instead of me wasting what I got right here, what I thought I'd do, because the major issue that I'm concerned with is them getting into my garden beds. So I'm going to take and cut those sticks up into about 12-inch pieces, and I'm going to drive them around the outsides of my garden bed. That'll keep the voles from digging and tunneling through there and getting into my plants and killing them. So that's my natural solution to it without worrying about affecting my other animals. So I'm going to get started on that. Okay, what I did was I went ahead and cut me up some sticks. They're all not exactly straight, but they don't need to be for what I'm using them for. So I'm gonna get these driven around the outsides of my garden, keep the voles out. Okay, I'm gonna leave a little bit out right here, a little bit out, because the voles they'll come above ground, and when they do, I want to make sure there's enough up here just to kind of deter them. And I can leave them spaced a couple inches apart, at least when they're burrowing. That's going to stop them. Now while they're real deep, that's what I was worried about during the winter, and then finding a way into the garden beds. That's why I drove these sticks so far down. But that's my idea, and this is going to take a couple days, but I was letting you know how I'm going to do it. So that's my vole solution. That's my natural alternative to poisons and traps. So that's my idea. We'll see if it works. So this is about the spacing that I'm going to want in between them. And like I said, it's not a perfect solution, but it's definitely a deterrent. So we'll just have to see how that does, because I can't use poisons and I can't use traps. But like I said, hardware cloth will work great. You could trench a trench out here, put your hardware cloth down about 6 inches or so, and you should be good. If you wanted to go the expense of that, but since I've got these laying around, I'm gonna burn them anyway. I'm just gonna take the next couple of days and put these things around my garden beds, and that's gonna, well, that should deter some of my problem. So we'll just have to see. There you go, chicken. Yeah. Told y'all, that's the best wormer in the world. Works great. And it's falling all out of these trees here, which, by the way, I'm going to show y'all. All of these pines here. I got to get these jokers cut out at some point, which ain't going to be easy. And the older I get, the less I want to go scaling up a tree to top that thing out. So I really got to consider that thing. Okay, one of the other things I was going to talk to y'all about was, you see, there's half of a water containment bucket, or a barrel. It used to be a water barrel. There's the other half. At a point, I went ahead and said, you know what? I want to put me a water collection system, or rain collection system, out there where the chickens are, because rainwater's got to be better than using the city water for those chickens. So then I started looking at the ways of collection, and PVC drain pipes are great. You don't have to worry about any issues with it, at least from the latest studies done. But it's the roofs that you're collecting that stuff off of. What kind of roof do you have? If you have an asphalt roof, you got to worry about chemicals getting into the rainwater, and those chemicals don't seep out. They stay in that rainwater when your chickens and your ducks and your rabbits and dogs or whatever else you're allowing to drink that water. It's all getting into that rainwater. So like me, I've got asphalt shingles on the house and the building out here. I really can't use the roof to collect water off of, because I'm worried about all that tar and everything else, all the chemicals getting in the rainwater. So then I thought, well, maybe if I put like a tin roof on that shed out there, I can just collect it off of it. Apparently that's not a good idea either. Apparently if you have galvanized metal on your roof, you get too much zinc in the water, and that can create a whole host of problems for your chickens, not to mention your ducks. So I guess I'll just continue to use the city water, and believe it or not, as far as the water goes, boiling that water and then letting it sit for 24 hours, anything they could put in it's gone anyway. So it's much safer just to use the water I get. And even if I just sat the barrel out there and put a big funnel on top of it, then I'd have to worry about other birds and animals and stuff dropping feces in that thing. Then I got to worry about spreading bird flu or bird viruses to my chickens and my ducks. So that may work for some of you. It probably does. Probably works great and you've never had any issues whatsoever, and that's great. But considering all the factors involved, I just use city water. But that's my own thought. If you have any comments on that, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your ideas on it are, but that's mine. Okay, for those of you getting ready to comment below about the juicy fruit gum thing, I already tried it. Doesn't work. I think they pretty much chewed the juicy fruit gum up, got a big kick out of it, a sugar rush, and just made that many more tunnels. So I tried the juicy fruit. That don't work. But if you got any other suggestions, put them below in the comments. I'd love to read them. Anything at all about the voles. Excuse me. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you can. We would appreciate it. It does help. And any other suggestions or whatever you might have about future videos, put them in the comments below. We'd appreciate it. And I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hey, Don, how about don't be getting in there and make a chicken today? We can get it along.